This is a Northern Lake audio production.
An Unconventional Holmes. 3 Unnatural Cases. Written by Liese Sherwood-Fabre. Performed by R.J. Bayley. The Adventure of the Missing Irregulars, based on the Grimm brothers' tale of the Children of Hameln. The knock came as Holmes and I sat down for breakfast. Sherlock paused, his fork and knife suspended above his plate, ready to attack the kipper lying there. "Come in, Wiggins." A lad of about 16 stepped into the room and peered at my flatmate. "How'd you know it was me?" "Quite obvious, really." Holmes chewed a bite of fish. "No one had knocked on the front door, and your steps were too light for a man and too quick for a lady. Therefore, Mrs. Hudson had let in a boy through the back entry. I suppose it could have been another of the irregulars, but given you are their leader, logically, it would be you." Wiggins's mouth formed an O. "Laws, that's a 'nificent piece of thinking. What I am unable to think out, however, is the purpose of your visit." The young man sobered immediately at this pronouncement, his lower lip trembling. "It's me mates. They're gone." Sherlock's next forkful froze halfway to his mouth. A piece of kipper swung from the tines. "Gone? How?" "I dunno, exactly. The 6 of us went to sleep, and when I woke up, they was gone." "This morning?" He shook his head. "Yesterday morning. I spent all day searching for them. Walked all over town, whistling our call to come together. Nothing." His eyes glistened. "Something bad's happened to 'em. It's like the earth swallowed 'em." A stone formed in the pit of my stomach at the news of the irregulars' disappearance. London, in 1895, had a variety of ways of swallowing people, and it was quite possible that was what happened to the boys. Even Holmes might have trouble locating them. Sherlock, however, expressed no such doubts. "Unless the laws of physics somehow shifted yesterday, they are somewhere," Holmes said. He dropped his fork and kipper onto his plate and raised his gaze to the boy. "As you can see, gravity has not been altered. Since physical laws are operating as they should, the same most definitely applies to the irregulars." He turned to me as he pushed himself away from the table. "Watson, shall we begin the investigation?" Mimicking Sherlock's action of grabbing his deer stalker, I doffed my own bowler as I followed them from the apartment. And, fearing the worst, I tucked my service revolver into my jacket. I had accompanied Holmes to many parts of the city, above and below ground, to opium dens, and down the Thames, but I had never found myself so deep in London's underworld as I did that day with Wiggins. As our hansom moved from Baker Street toward Whitechapel and the East End, the houses grew grimmer, and the streets more narrow and crooked. When the road became impassable, we paid the driver and proceeded on foot, stepping carefully to avoid small mountains of garbage and the open cess trough running through the middle of the lane. Just as I had determined I could not abide another moment of breathing this miasma without detrimental effects to my health, Wiggins turned into a doorway and led us into another sort of hell. Drawing on my military training, I set my back straight and immobilized my expression, as if the stench of too many people living in too close quarters had no impact. I glanced at Holmes. He seemed as unaffected as I hoped I appeared. On the top floor, we stepped over a man sprawled across the hallway, a cloud of gin drifting around him. Halfway down the corridor, Wiggins unlocked a door. The floorboards creaked as we entered the small, slant-roofed room. The scent shifted from that of the squalid hallway to odors from a previous
Sample complete. Ready to continue?